Welcome to the League of Nerds comic segment number 138. I'm John Cooney here to talk about comics released the 10th of September 2014, beginning as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Invincible number 114. The death toll finally reaches its end. Who will rise from the ashes? Series writer Robert Kirkman explained his reasoning for the shift in the book's tone recently. Quote, "It's definitely a hectic time in Mark's life. There's definitely a lot going on with Robot trying to take over the world, and I'm just trying to throw Mark Grayson, the main character of this book, into the worst possible situation he's ever been in so we can see where he comes out on the other side and whether he manages to retain his sanity in the process. We're really putting Mark through his paces." Close quote. At number 2, we've got The Walking Dead number 131, A Journey Begins. Series artist Charlie Adler spoke about drawing the book at the San Diego Comic-Con Walking Dead panel. Quote, "I wouldn't have lasted this long on any comic if I didn't like the characters. The characters are the most important. For me, drawing the direction of those people is the be-all and end-all of the book. Everything else is icing on the cake. I get more pleasure drawing interactions between Carl and Rick as I do about any big zombie fight. And horses. I like horses. I prefer them to cars." Close quote. At number 3, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 6, the finale of the record-breaking first arc of Amazing Spider-Man where all heck breaks loose on Peter Parker. Parker Industries has promised a humane and secure supervillain containment system, but Black Cat and Electro have other ideas. The secrets of Silk have been revealed. Series artist Humberto Ramos told CBR-TV about creating Silk.
It is a big character. She's going to be a main character in the Spider-Man universe from now on. And you know, strangely, I never feel the pressure when I get to do stuff with Spider-Man. Meaning, like, I remember people asking me about, you know, how did I feel when we killed Peter Parker on 700? It's like, you know, it's like, I don't know, like, it was a great book, a big book. I knew it was gonna, you know, make people talk about it. But I never felt any pressure on doing it or killing it. You know, like I feel joy. You know, so I feel really, let's say, I feel pride when my editor asked me to redesign a character or create a character for the book, because that makes me feel like they trust me. And to me, it's all about my job. I care a lot about my job, so if the guys, you know, behind the desk they trust me, I feel okay, and I feel no pressure. Of course, you know, I gotta go back and forth with sketches and ideas and what I would like her to be. Actually, in this sketchbook that you guys might see already, my Marvels too. There's a bunch of sketches that I did. To design a character in the first flip, and at the end, you know, we came out with this idea that fill all our expectations, and I mean it's Dan's and Nick's and Ellie and mine visions on what the character should look like, and I think this is the first step on how she's gonna look. So expect more.
At number 4, we've got Powers Bureau number 11. It's a game changer for the entire series. Special Agent Christian Walker must choose between his humanity or powers with a cost. Every once in a while something happens in this book that makes you say, how are they going to get out of that one? This is one of those times. From the writer of your favorite Marvel comics, including All New X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy, comes another shocking chapter in the Cops and Capes Odyssey. Series writer Brian Michael Bendis talked about what we can expect from the Powers television series on PlayStation. Quote, "Every case is going to show us something new about our characters. It's going to show us something about what we've developed in the comic, which is a pretty sprawling mythology about superheroes. It's also going to show us what a world with superheroes would really be like, how we would really treat them, how they would immerse our culture, how they would affect our fashion. We're just immensely proud of it." Close quote. At number 5, we've got Hawkeye number 20. Kate Guy, Madam Mask, Los Angeles, Explosions, the end of summer vacation, the final showdown. For all the marbles are a metaphor. You belong, you belong, you belong, you belong to the merry marble marching society. This is the big one. Fraction and Wu and Hollingsworth too. Oh my. Series writer Matt Fraction shared his thoughts on concluding Kate's story. Quote, "When we see her again, she's really in her apotheosis as a nascent Hawkeye. She is never more Clint Barton than on the first and last page of our next issue. She has kind of accomplished what she set out to achieve, although not in the way she sought to achieve it, and there's quite a price to pay. The issue reflects that too. It's the most chronologically fragmented, and well, it's the most Hawkeye issue of Hawkeye she's going to star in. Kate's summer vacation is wrapping up. More will be revealed when our last 3 issues are out, but yes, this story has been about Kate leaving the nest, growing up, and learning to take care of herself. It's her figuring out for the first time if she's good enough for this job she wants so very badly." Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got United States of Murder, Inc. number 5. From the Eisner Award-winning creators of Powers comes another chapter in this brand new crime epic. Maid Man Valentine and hitwoman Jagger Rose are getting closer and closer to discovering who set them up, but with the CIA and FBI closing in on them, will they discover the truth about the 5 families before it's too late? At number 7, we've got Batman Eternal number 23. Catwoman's secret past has been revealed, and it's dragging her toward Blackgate Penitentiary. What is her place in the natural order of crime? Only she can decide. At number 8, we've got Edge of Spider-Verse number 1 of 5. Spider-Man Noir returns. The Peter Parker of the 1930s finds himself not only up against Mysterio, but knee-deep in the Spider-Man event of 2014. At number 9, we've got Astro City number 15. Ellie's Friends Part 2. In the wake of last issue's devastation, Ellie has to find a way to save her longtime friends and discover the truth about her past in the process, plus Honor Guard and the villainy of Vivi Victor. And continuing with this month's Futures End 3D lenticular covers, at number 10 we've got Batman Futures End number 1. It's 5 years later and Bruce Wayne is using dangerous science to help him continue his war on crime. What is it, and what forced Bruce to resort to such extremes? For the best of the rest from DC, we've got Batgirl Futures End number 1. It's 5 years later and Barbara Gordon has become Bette Noir, aka the Black Beast. Part Batman and part Bane, she leads a squad of female agents through the Gotham Underground. Next we have Birds of Prey Futures End number 1. Free of Ra's al Ghul's control at last, Black Canary claims her rightful place as the head of the League of Assassins. We've also got Justice League United Futures End number 1. In the concluding chapter of the epic story that began in this month's Justice League Futures End number 1, the armies of Mars rise against the unsuspecting population of Earth, and only the combined might of the Justice League and the Legion of Superheroes can stand against them. However, I should note that Justice League Futures End number 1 hasn't come out yet. We've also got Legends of the Dark Knight 100-page spectacular number 4. In I, Batman, there's a new face of crime fighting in Gotham City, but will this twisted creation do more harm than good? Next, a serial killer targets random citizens of Gotham for a fiery death, and the Dark Knight detects a pattern the police didn't in Ashes to Ashes. Finally, in Herded Limits, when the Dark Knight foils the Riddler's latest plot, Dr. Chase Meridian presents evidence that Edward Nygma isn't clinically insane after all. Next, we have Suicide Squad Futures End number 1. Amanda Waller's covert war against the United States reaches the boiling point as the Suicide Squad takes the White House. We've also got Superboy Futures End number 1. Khan has a final fateful confrontation with his clones and finds help from some unlikely allies. And we've got World's Finest Futures End number 1. Power Girl must break into Cadmus Island to free Huntress, but she ends up a prisoner herself. From Marvel Comics, we've got All New Ultimates number 8. The All New Ultimates face off with superpowered mercenary crew, the Femme Fatales. Is this the end of Cloak and Dagger as a couple and a crime-fighting duo? The team's ultimate nemesis makes his deadly play, and Miles and company won't be the same when it hits. Next, we have Avengers Undercover number 10. It's Zemo versus the world in the series finale. The Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. attack as Baron Zemo's true plan is revealed, which murder world survivor becomes a master of evil. Be there as the character journeys that began in Avengers Academy and Avengers Arena end here. We've also got Death of Wolverine number 2 of 4. It's the beginning of the end. 3 Months to Die ends here. The beginning of the end is now here. The death of Wolverine. 3 Months to Die. The loss of Wolverine's healing factor all led to this, the single most important X-Men event of the decade. Logan has spent over a century being the best there is at what he does, but even the best fade away eventually. Over the years, Logan has been a warrior, a hero, a renegade, a samurai, a teacher, and so much more. But but now the greatest X-Men hero will play a role he's never played before in this special weekly event brought to you by industry superstars Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. Next we have Inhumans number 5. Medusa and the Inhumans of Attilan are taken down hard. The Unspoken is back and taking his kingdom back no matter the cost. We've also got Ms. Marvel number 8. Kamala crosses paths with inhumanity for the first time by meeting the royal pup Lockjaw. Every girl wants a puppy, but this one may be too much of a handful, even for a superhero with embiggening powers. He may be the queen's pooch, but this dog is one royal pain in the neck. And the return of Adrian Alphona. And we've got Nightcrawler number 6. As an ambassador to the Jean Grey School, Nightcrawler heads out to locate a newly manifested mutant. But little does he know that classic X-Men villains, the Crimson Pirates, have their own nefarious designs for the mutant. Just what will it take for Nightcrawler to save the new mutant and escape with his own skin? From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Magnus Robot Fighter number 6. Welcome to the Uncanny Valley, an incredible illegal sex and death club where humans fight one another in a pit, and whoever loses has their dead body parts taken by transmechs to add to their own robo bodies. It's gross, so Magnus has to try really hard not to lose. Mechanized Mayhem from Fred Landlin and Corey Smith. And we've got Terminal Hero number 2. Peter Milligan continues with his vision of Terminal Hero. Rory always thought he was a good man, but that seems like a long time ago. Still reeling from the terrible side effects of Treatment Q and the fact that he killed his best friend, Rory's life now takes an even darker and more complicated turn when he's approached by 2 members of British intelligence. After a strange meeting with what's left of the man who developed Treatment Q, Rory's desperate to escape from the violent new life he's been forced to lead. But is he willing to pay the price? From Image Comics, we've got Morning Glories number 40 with the solicit Science. And from Valiant Entertainment, we've got Armor Hunters Harbinger number 3 of 3. Harbinger teams up. Mexico City just became ground zero for the Armor Hunters invasion of Earth, and a runaway army of superpowered soldiers called Generation Zero needs to bring in backup. Better call the Renegades? But when powerhouse brawler Torque and lighter-than-air free spirit Zephyr join the fight, things are about to go from bleak to brutal as the Earth's first extraterrestrial invasion force unleashes an engine of global destruction with one sole purpose: to terminate with extreme prejudice. Out in trades, we've got Why the Last Man Volume 1 trade paperback. The first 10 issues of the award-winning series written by Brian K. Vaughan are collected in this new trade paperback. It's the saga of Yorick Brown, the only human survivor of a planet-wide plague that instantly kills every mammal possessing a Y chromosome who searches the world for his lost love and the answer to why he's the last man on Earth. Next, we've got All New X-Men Volume 5, One Down Hardcover Premiere Edition. The future Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, last seen in Battle of the Atom, is back, and they're still gunning for yesterday's X-Men. But even as the Brotherhood takes its next devastating step against the time-tossed teens, the mysteries surrounding Jean Grey begin to unfold. Jean came back from the Shi'ar trial different. What does this mean for her future, for the past of the woman she's supposed to become, and for the rest of the X-Men? Past, present, and future collide when the future Brotherhood exacts its final judgment on the all-new X-Men. And its mutant magic as only Mighty Marvel could do it, as Stuart Eminem is joined by a practical Hall of Fame lineup of comic book artists. Collects All New X-Men number 25 through 29. And we've got Harbinger Volume 5, Death of a Renegade trade paperback. The Renegades thought they could get their old lives back. They thought they could bring down Toyo Harada and the Harbinger Foundation. They were wrong, and now one of them will die. Once again, Peter Stanchek and the Renegades are on the run with the combined forces of the Harbinger Foundation and Project Rising Spirit closing in on all sides. This time, however, the team's newest member, Axe, has left a trail of leaked classified information that could win the day, but also put the few loved ones they have into dire peril. Collecting Resistance and Death of a Renegade from Harbinger 20 through 25, A Renegade Will Fall as New York Times best-selling creators Joshua Dysart and Clayton Henry unleash a major milestone for Valiant's acclaimed teenage super team. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available, and I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers, and you can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section at he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.